Good morning, class. Yesterday we discussed about some of the system models which are used for distributed and the cloud computing. Gave some introductions only about that one. That is, we are having clusters and grid computing, peer-to-peer network, and at last we have the cloud computing. In yesterday's session, we have seen the introduction of these massive system classes, and we gone through the discussion of the clusters, what are the clusters, how these clusters are formed, and what are the things it is means the issues which has been facing by the clusters to make it happen has been included. And today in today's session I will explain the remaining three, that is grid computing, peer-to-peer networks, and then at last cloud computing. So here the first one is a grid computing infrastructure. So first, before going to the grid computing, I like to say you heard the word that is a power grid. Power grid is there. So what the power grid will do here, it will form a matrix-like structure, means it will take care of the different locations and take care of the different things which has been formed like one. So in yesterday's example, I used some representations like what is a grid and how can you specify a grid is. It is a collection of the clusters. Likewise I specified. So here I am taking the example that is 9 by 9, that is a representation is taken, which is equivalent to the 81 nodes. But this complete one is specified as a grid here. Okay, so this is the example I explained yesterday, so which has been taken as a grid there. So what it is a grid, how we are forming a grid is nothing but here we are taking a thing which is a means we can specify it as a spatial one, or we can take it as a workstations or the servers or the clusters or any supercomputers which are here specifying can be look after here. So the grids what you are using is specified as a integrated resources which are used for computing. So you can have that what is a 9 by 9, what you are having at the 81 nodes. So we can have in this 81 nodes we can have servers there itself only, and we can mention means in each and every node we can mention it is a server, and you can mention it as a PC or any other device which is being used for connecting one, or you can take it as a network oriented one, or any type of representation or any type of the thing which has been chosen for as a computing resource can be added at this node. So you can take it as a IO also. Any type of representations can be specified, and is grouply it is forming the grid here. So in general what is a grid here is in yesterday's class as specified 9 by 9 matrix. If you see first row how many nodes will be there, 9 columns, that is a 9 nodes will be there in the first row, and then in the second row we are having this again 9, and so on. I am maintaining 9 9 by 9. So at the 9th row I am also having the 9 columns there, that is a 9 nodes. So each and individual is forming a cluster here. So these clusters what you are chosen here or represented as the indeed or represented as a grid here. So if you specify all these things into a one, if you are chosen all these things into a one, what it will do here is it will specify the things to be happen or the to be done uh, by the things what you are chosen here, that is it is going to specify all these things as a grid. So how you specify it's as a grid means a grid is a computer network in which each computer's resources are shared with every, means it is mentioning every other computer what is are having in the system. So if you go for the diagrams what you are chosen, what you are placed here. So here the networks what you are representing here is in the lines, the black lines what I have chosen, these are all connected to a node. Means if you learn the computer networks, then you called a, then you gone through a letter, a word which is called as a hub. If you gone through the computer networks. There you means represent a word called hub. So what it is doing, the hub, the work of the hub is to maintain, that is, it is a data center for all these computers who has been connected. Means the hub, what it is do, it will take and give the data from that one to the that is the devices or any things it has been connected to that hub one. So here what it does here is, in this thing we are having a control node. What this control node will do, so here the control node what you are taking will take care of the resources what you are using. Means it can be a virtual platform or any virtual organization, or you can specify, likewise I said, workstation, server, or a cluster, or the supercomputers, or anything, anyone can be represented as a PCs, laptops, PDAs, or can be represented as a to connecting devices for this thing. So what it do, so what it is doing here is, it will give the access to other users who are presenting here. So the grade what you have chosen is present to the person, like it is a integrated resource pool. If you say the pool means, like as I said in the earlier classes, we are having a resource pooling. So in cloud computing, we are having the resource pooling. Resource pooling means you are maintaining the set of the resources, many resources which has been supported, which has been used for the same representations to present these services to the required users, what are the required consumers. So what you are doing here, we are maintaining a pool here. In this pool, what you are doing, we are connecting to the that is systems here. What the systems will have, how it is going to execute, will be processed or will be given by these control node. The connected one will be given these all these things what you have chosen. So this is another example I have taken to explain. Likewise, I said we will connect to anything, any representations. So the users are using laptops and then systems and some server type representations, or these occurred. So these are the ways which has been chosen by the users to connect to the grid. So here we are having the control node. Using this control node, we are accessing the resources of the grid. So what could be the resources here? So the control node will having the resources, that is a printer, the disk arrays, and then servers, which are being that is maintained here. That is again the servers, or that means we can maintain the multiple servers, multiple disk arrays, multiple printers, or the multiple things what you are chosen for processing. So why we are giving this type of representations means, here it provides utilities also. Utilities and data, information processing. How it is going to do is, it is going to specify all these things, or the done all these things to the sharing, which is the resource sharing. For example, if you are specifying this one, this computer can be one organization, or this laptop will be from one another organization. Like that means these are not from all, you are considering all from the one working point. Means it is not from one organization, or it is not from the one location. So these things what you are chosen for connecting through the grid will be referred from by the spatial or the organizational work, or the environment what they are chosen. Means this one will be from any organization, or this one will be from these small organizations or big organizations, or this one will be from some educational institutions which are choosing the grid as a resource sharing one. So these are the things could be included while processing all these things. So these, I took some examples here to explain keenly. So here the end user is placed. So see here, I represented HPC systems all the time in my sessions. So HPC system will be like this. So here we are maintaining three different grid systems here. One is the shared grid host. So shared grid host means these are used for processing the jobs. These jobs are, means I said divide and conquer method will be there now. So the divide and conquer method will be used to distribute the job among these hosts and to get the result of the job which has been distributed to this main grid server. And then next, we are having the dedicated grid server, which is the initial or the HS1. And then we are having the rack grid host, or you can say that is it is having the cluster like structure, because these has been placed as a servers which has been placed here. The rack will be having the unique behavior, and here we are having the unique behavior of that one. So here these are the examples what you have chosen for these grid specification. Means we can share the our data, or we can be specified what is the dedicated grid host. Means it has been dedicated to one work only. It won't concentrate at one. Means it has been designed for one thing only. Means if you want to process the things using this dedicated grid host, what you have to do, you have to give the relevant job to this dedicated grid host. What it does, it will take these jobs and execute all these things what you are having. And then next, if you are choosing these things, what it is doing is this HPC is also you are having, it is completely that is concentrates on the performance of that one only. Means the high performance computing has to be performed here. So these are the things it is being maintained by the grid. What the end user does, the end user what does is he will upload the job. So individually, as you have seen what it is doing. So first see what it is doing. So end user means myself, I will upload the job, means I will give a task to this server. So this server has to decide to which type of the grid one I have to which type of the system I have to allot this job. So if you are choosing a multitasking one, or if you are providing a a big task to that grid server, what it is does is it is completely goes to have these job to be done by this shared grid host only. Because if you are giving these dedicated grid host to this one, what it does, it is alone only concentrating on execution. So that by that you will have to wait for the result for a long time when you compare with this thing. So what it does here, the grid server will look after the what is the job you have been uploaded, and here it will take care of this thing that is a splitted one, that is you have to divide your job. So it has been allocated, or it has been alerted to these grid host, which is having a shared resources also. So these shared resources means it will be sharing the data or any representations which is common for these processing. So after this one, you are having the true and fro here. So after the execution of the job which is given by the end user will be given to the main grid server. So after that, it will represent the process, the job what you are given by you has been done. The end user will download the results there. So if the task is a simple one and there is no any impact on these distributed, or sorry, the shared one, what it do is nothing but it has to check whether it is concentrating on the performance or anything. Means if it is a simple and executing job, means what it will do, will go for the high performance computing. Why we choose high performance computing? The thing what you are using, it will be done, should be done in a fraction of seconds manner. In the speed manner, what you are doing is it should be converted, or it should be done in a very fast manner. That's why it will be given to the HPC, and we are having the results after that one. So this is a simple representations of the grids what you are chosen here. The three different examples which is having one, how it is having the control node controlling on the others. Another representation is who will connect to that one, and what are the devices they can be using, and what are the resources it is has been sharing. So you can specify these are also the resources which has been provided by this grid. We are using the host which is the shared grid one, and then we are having the rack, that is a rack of the servers we are choosing for execution, and the dedicated grid is there, and at last we are also using HPC system for processing all these things. So after that we are having the types of the grid. How many types are there? Three types are there: computational and data grid, and then other one is a collaborative grid. The collaborative grid is not means it is not considerable one. We will concentrate on the excuse me, we will concentrate on the two only, that is a computational grid and data grid. So here the computational grid is represented as a, it acts as a resource of many computers in a network to a single problem at a time. So here it is giving the many computers to access to a single time, or what you are representing at a time representation. So the data grid is in the name itself, it is mentioning that data presentation is there. So it will manage the distributed data, means which has been shared here. So these are the two types of the that is grades we have chosen. Later on we will see what is the computational or the data grade we are presenting. So here why we choose these computational grades, or why we choose the grades here is, a computational grade what you have chosen will offer and or will provide an infrastructure. See here, an infrastructure that couples computers, softwares or the hardware, sensors and an IO devices or anything what you have chosen here. So here what you are doing here, it will taking different representations of these infrastructures, and it has been placed or it has been coupled using the network here. Network connection will be there. The network connection has been chosen and has been coupled, and through this network it allows the user to access this hardwares or the softwares or any databases, sensors or anything you are specifying. Means it is not choosing only the, you can share the software, you can share the hardware, or you can only share through these sensors like that. So if you remember earlier slides, I have shown the resources or the printers, disk arrays and then servers. So you can add these sensors, or you can add these any IO devices you already have chosen. All these things can be specified there. So what it is you're giving is, you can share these resources or you can have the benefits of the resources from there where you are residing. So what type of the networks we are using, what type of the networks we are providing to construct a grid. So if we are using that is a regional one, we can specify it as a LAN. We can it as a that is a national one, we can take it as a WAN here, or you can go on for the global scale. What you will do here, we can use is the internet as a backbone for this thing. And to choose the network, what we are doing, we are providing or we are accessing the services from there what you are choosing. So sorry, if you see this diagram, so I am choosing the internet as a backbone here. So what are the things I am providing? So these are the different resources I am choosing. So what are the resources here is the servers, databases, and then next there is a satellite connection, which is an expensive one they are choosing here. So what are the resources in previous slides were being chosen these computers and then laptops only, but here the internet accessible things what you are means specifying will be considered as a device for accessing a grid. Means they have the capability of accessing a grid. So how come they are being, means in nowadays we are choosing phones and then its cameras and then cell phones or any type of representations what you are representing in this diagram have the access to the internet. So these internet accessing providers, what you are doing is they will means if you are having a grid one, if you are having the things to come to access the grid one, what it does is nothing but it will allow these things to process. Means here they take this thing as means TV subscription or anything what you have chosen. So here there are different types of representations are there while you can watch the TV. Sometimes we will go on live, sometimes we can watch on the TV, and sometimes we will have the recorded sessions there itself. So if you see this type of the representations here, so the TV and this one they are will help to the access this at the same time. Means if you want to watch any channel, you will go for the channel, and then next if you want to go for the, you are not available with the TV, what you will do, you will go for the live representations what you are chosen for there. Or even in the telephone, in the phones also what you are having that is they are providing some apps also, some apps they are providing, what they are doing, they are also maintaining the resources who are in this one. So these are the examples it has been chosen. So if you go for the camera, what it doing is it is having it will take the pictures there. So what it do, it will has to send to their regarding on what it do, it will connect to the internet and they can choose to do send to the databases what it is happening. So if we are choosing this type of the representations, what it do, it will connect to the expensive equipment and then it will get the connections what you are having and then process. So here multiple things has been chosen, multiple things has been processed, and they has been maintained at a same one, that is called a grid one, and they can access at any time from anywhere through the type of the network it has been specified. If you are specifying the network is the internet, both that is the thing, the devices which has been enabled or which has a capability of the interneting, what it is doing, it is having the benefits of the things what you have chosen here. So after that, we are having another one, that is a grid families. So we are having two different families here. The computational, the data grid families, and the other one is the P2P grid family, P2P grids. So here, what you are choosing, the grid, what you are choosing, what you are providing will give the distributed computing. Distributed computing means they have to share their resources only, but they that is the control will be with them only. Means it is not supporting or it is not giving any centralized control, it is not taking the control of this thing, means it is allocating the resources only, but means it will have the control on the resources what it is having, but it is not having the control on the that is the users which are being used these resources like that. So it is using distributed computing models and also the software middleware supports, and also providing the network protocols, and it also providing these hardware infrastructures also for providing. So if we are choosing the grid, where this grid has been used or where has been provided means in national grid projects, we are using industrial grid platforms which has been developed by IBM, Microsoft, Sun, HP, Dell, Cisco, EMC, and all. These are the several examples we has been taken here. So these are allowing to get the projects or being develop these projects into a based on the grids here. So we are having another type of the representations here also, that is grid service providers, GSPs. The grid service providers or the grid applications also rapidly emerge, and they also has been used means from any means from different systems or the different users throughout the internet or through these web service, it has been provided here. So here based on this representations, we are chosen the grid can be of two types. So means classified into two categories, sorry. The two categories are computational and the data grids, and the P2P grids. So peer-to-peer. P2P is for the peer-to-peer grids. So here we will see some of the issues which has been raised while designing or while processing. All these things will be specified in this tabular representation. So these are the design issues, and what it is performing will be specified here. So the design issue, the first one, grid application reported. So in this computational and data grid, what it is having, it is what are the applications which has been used by these two categories of grids is. The first one is computational, the data grids provides distributed supercomputing and national grid initiatives like that it is choosing. And if you go for the second one, that is a peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer means end-to-end representation also specified. We are using open grid, which is P2B flexibility. Open grid means there is no any that is specified or the previously we are mentioning there is a model to has to be followed, is not like that there. What it is doing is likewise based on the timing, it will change the network model or it will change the connectivity, because it won't have any type of representations which is a fixed one. So that's why it is choosing the open grid, which is having the peer-to-peer flexibility. In yesterday class, I represented peer-to-peer, that is, it won't have any representations which has the models which are all been means developed, that should be used by this only, like that not represented, because there is a notion called by using the peer-to-peer, the clients or the nodes what you have chosen will be added or removed based on the user's wish. Means if any user want to join this network, the user can join. If any user don't want to stay in this network, they can leave the network there itself without anything. Means there is no any restrictions there. So if it is not maintaining such type of things, what it is having is it is not allowing to take any model that has been designed or it has been maintained particularly for this one. So there is no need to maintain all these things. So they has been divided or it has been designed based on the situation. So the next one is what could be the representative systems. So if you are chosen computational data grids, so what are the systems which has been designed by the perspective, based on the perspective of these computational the data grids are TeraGrid, use it, that is built by US, that is and then next China grid in China, and there is a eScience grid which has been built with the UK. Okay, it is maintaining the data and metadata or data, and then it is also having some computational information about this one. Whereas the P2P grid is a JXTA, fight it at home, city at home. These all the things we have specified has been considered as a representations one. So here, what is a city at home means? It is we are using some radio telescope type one in this SETI home. What it is doing is it is searching for a life on the galaxy, in the galaxy. Means it will look after the planets or the Milky Ways, what it is chosen. Means any type of representation. I'm giving some examples of SETI at home. What is a SETI at home will give here is it will use the radio telescope, and then it will give these access to the finding the galaxy, life in the galaxy, and these there are the physicists will be there. What are the physicists will do? They will try to find out what are the asteroids, and then what they are moving, and what they are means what is a planetary model, what it is going like that they will see. So this will help in their purpose. SETI at the home will help in their purpose. So other one we are having is the last one is the development lessons learned. So we have designed. Here we designed all these things. We design means while using all these things, you came to know there should be some redevelopment or the same should be updations has to be applied here. So here we are giving some cautions to these grid developers. So you have to do these things to apply these things to your grids whenever you're designing this purpose only. Means restricted user groups. Restricted user groups, why it is? So it is using data grid. Data grid means TeraGrid or the China grid, whatever you are providing here is they are maintaining their data of your means the people, means the population, or if you are choosing the eScience grid means they are maintaining the data about the science projects or the science the data relevant to the science there. So if you are allowing many persons to access this grid, what you are doing, you are allowing to know your data there. Means you are not maintaining any secrecy there. So that's why what you have to do is nothing but we need to maintain only restricted groups has been will have the accessibility to this type of the grades what you have chosen. And then next the one is middleware bugs will occur. So why it has been specified that the middleware bugs here is if you are allowing many people to access your things, what they are doing is they will access your data. Means in between of that one means we should be aware what the people are doing with your grid. Means sometimes you will see in movies or in some you will listen from your means some people that they won't, in some organizations they won't allow to carry pen drives, or they won't allow to access their accounts from different locations like that. Why so? Means if they are doing like that, what they are doing, they are having the information of their projects there itself. If anyone has been tried to these, means if anyone has took the any pen drive or any means inserted a pen drive and have their access to the files, so the later all means at that time they don't have the information of that one. Later all they will get the information from where these files has been accessed, from which device or from which account these files has been transferred to that pen drive, will be known to that one. Means that type of representations has to be added, because you should know, you should has to traverse, or this has to go on through the your grades what you are chosen or what you are allowed for the users. So here you should maintain a protocol. Means to acquire the resource, means the resources you have to classify. Means if you want to get the data of your any neighbor or anyone, so it is been allowed, because you want to know name or any address or anything, it is been phone number also allowed one. But no means you are giving their information, that is like the personal information, it is not the allowable one. So you have to classify the data here, and you need to maintain the protocols to acquire this resource. They have to come to this protocol, that means they have to cross this protocol, and they will have the permissions to access this one. Means how they are getting the permissions, means we are giving their that is usernames, or like that we are specifying, or sometimes we will take the permissions from the that is the resources which has been maintained by these grids, that is US or anything. Means grid manager will be there, they will allow to take the permissions there. So these are the things has to be considered when you are designing a grid, or if you are design grid, you have to implement all these things in a grid. And then next coming to the peer-to-peer. So in this peer-to-peer, we need user contributor resources which are unreliable one, because which one is, it is having the important factor or important thing here is the flexibility. Here it will allow the users at any time, or it will that is allow the users to come into the network at any time, and allow the users to get off from the network at any time, and there is no any restriction to that one. So if you are allowing the persons like this, you must restrict your that is resources what you are choosing. So one person is coming to your network and accessing the resources what you are having, and he is simply getting away having your resources data. It is not the that is appreciable one. What you have to do is nothing but you should know what are the resources you have to contribute to your users. Means that is not all the data has to be stored or has to be given to the peer-to-peer networks, only the limited one, limited to the few apps. So limited data has to be given to this one. So if you want to maintain the privacy, or if you want to maintain the secrecy of your information of your organizational data, you won't add these to this power grid. What you are choosing, sorry, P2P grid, what you are choosing, what you are doing, simply go for the another grid representations. So after that, we are having next one, third one, peer-to-peer network families. So here the P2P model or the P2P will have in this topic, we will see what are the peer-to-peer systems and how it is going to enact with all these things. What are the families? Likewise, in these grid families, we are having the peer-to-peer application families, and what are the computing challenges we are facing while means um, that is we are designing a peer-to-peer grid here. So here the first is what is a peer-to-peer network or the peer-to-peer computing. So here it is a distributed application architecture that partitions the task or the overloads between the peers. Means it is here it is also following what divide and conquer method. Means it is taking the workload and it is dividing into the task, and it is taking and it is allotting to the nodes. Here the nodes are means pronounced as a peers. Okay, so here the peers or the nodes, or that is the nodes can be server, PC, on any workstation, like that. What you any supercomputer also you can specify. So here the thing is it will divine your work, the partition the work what you are having into task, and it allocate these tasks into the to the peers what you are chosen, and then next the peers will process your data and give to the you, and after that you will have the results there. So here what are the privileges you are given to your nodes, that is your servers or anything. So there is no any impartiality here. So whatever you are allowing to one peer, that is a first peer, has been allocated to these next and then next peers, which has been added to the network here. Means they are equally privileged. There is no any restriction between the peers. Do you have no access to this one, like that? Means here the problem arises here. You have to means think of, yeah, all are having equal privileging, means the privileges which are given by the user, he be, means if he is a good user, okay, then there is no any problem. If he is having some intentions of accessing your data and using some anyway, what it is doing is it is going to specify, or it is going to do as a attacking, or it is getting the that is a malfunctions has been applied also. So here who are being added to the network will be taken, and they has been formed as a peer-to-peer network of the nodes. So if you specify this peer-to-peer architecture, it could be like the client server architecture only. That is the client missions which you are taken, that is the PCs or the workstations are connected to the central server. Means we are maintaining a central server, and we are taking a distributed system into our account also. So this central server, which is used for computing, emailing, giving the filing, that is access to the files, and take caring of these database networks, what you are having this. So it is also providing distributed models for your network systems, what you are doing. So we are designing all these things, that is which has means a client oriented only, because it is not the server oriented one. There is no the server, what is the work of the server is, will take care of these manage these things, but all these things what you are maintained or what you are doing will be the client oriented only, because the clients have the major part or the major role in this network. So it will take care of the clients only, not it is not on the server oriented one. So here in these P2P network families, first we will see what is the P2P systems. So here the P2P system, what you are representing, will act as a client and a server. Why it is acting as a client and a server means, there it is taking a advantage of overlay network representation. If you remember yesterday's class, I used a word called overlay network, where I explained a network will be situated above the one network which is having the physical connections, and this one is having the virtual specification. It will try to access one system, and then what it is doing is it is trying to specify, that is it trying to form a virtual network there. So that's why it is means it is trying to access a system. Means here I don't want to confuse you, that's why I presented the diagram. See ma, everybody just concentrate here. So this one, what I am represented here is, where I pointed here is, this is the real network, or there is a real peer-to-peer network. Means where you are choosing to there is mapping physical links between these devices what you are providing here. So you are having another network above this thing. If you see this one, this is called the overlay network. Overlay means it is having it is being situated above the network. We are not specifying above word. Why? Because it is enacting as the network which is here. Means see here, it is basically enacting like this only. So in these representations, these are the nodes we are using for the connection. The overlay network, what it is doing, it is taking the access from one of the device, or it is not trying to access to take the access from this one. Means the server or the base point what you are representing, what it is doing, it is taking the access from this one. So here the system what you designed or what you included here will be act as a client and server. That's why the word it is specified as a, every node should act as a both client and server. There is no any representation that you have to choose this system only to form a virtual network like that. So there is no representation like that. That's why every system will act as a client and server. So because there is no server oriented one, that's why it is concentrating on the, that is it is oriented with the client only, because the work which has been done by these clients are done by the server also. That's why they are represented every node as a client and the server. And coming to this one, what it is doing is it is providing the system resources to access and also to process all these things. These client computers, what you are doing, what you are connected to this network will be connected through the that is internet here. And these client missions, what you are specifying, will autonomously, see here, act autonomously to join or leave, because they will decide. Autonomous means they will decide, they will have their own rules, they will means take care of their all these things here. Means there is nobody will means restrict them, they will guide them, you have to perform, you have to do like that only. They will write their own rules they will process their own things. And uh, what they will do here is autonomously they will join and leave this P2P system at their own choice. Means there is no any restriction, there has to be stay in this. Means join and leave means joining means like that you are means it could be switch on your computer and connecting to the network like that. For example, you are taking to your laptop, you are not, you want to join to that network, means you can have the credentials of that network. You can use the network for a particular amount of the time, or the particular means for a long time also. If you want to leave that network after 1 year, okay. If you want to leave the network after right away joining also, they will allow. Means they won't restrict that you has been joined like for this amount of the time you should stay like this. It won't be accepted. If you want to join, you joined at 10:10 and you want to join at the 10:12 also, what it does, it will simply okay, okay, you can go like that. Means nobody will restrict you to leave that network, and nobody will restrict you to join the network also. What they do is nothing but they look after the only the credentials that they are having to join this network or not. And then yeah, having another problem here is that is the coordination on between these databases. So there is no any central coordination for that one, because we are having the self-organization autonomously, it is accessing all these things. That's why it is not providing any coordination of the database systems, it is provided. And these peers, what you are chosen here, are not the related one. Because why it is not the related one here is there is no any master slave relationship. Master slave relationship is not there. Everybody have their own criterias, everybody have their own importance. So there is no any master slave. If everybody is a slave, are the considered as a slave. If anybody is a slave, if anybody is master, all the systems what you are chosen will be, all the peers will be considered as the masters here. So that's why the thing is there is no any central database for to maintain here. And then next there is no any global view also. Why the global view means what are the peer-to-peer systems we are having, how they are interacting with others, it has also not been, because there is nobody to maintain or to see all these things here. Means if you are the network administrator, then what you have, how many people are connected, what they are doing, what they are accessing, are they accessing the internet, in the internet what they are doing, like that we'll have the information like that. But there is no any centralized control here. Everybody is having their individual control. What they are doing, they are simply getting into the network, and they are leaving the network based on that one. So that's why there is no any global view also. And then next, if you see that is the peers what you are to represented were that is unrelated to each other initially. So if you are considering the peer what you are specifying to join or the leaves voluntarily, so what they are doing is nothing but they have to take care of the physical networks, means the physical network at any time. Means if you are forming the cluster or the grids or the peer-to-peer network, what they have to do is nothing but they should be concentrate on the internet connections what they are using, or what type of the network it is following. if you're specifying, it is following only the ad hoc network, which has been reluctantly changes based on the representations, because it is don't have this type of the network has to be followed like that. So if you see, this is the diagrammatical representation of the simple architecture of a peer-to-peer network. So see here, what we are doing here is in overlay networks. If you see, these overlay networks are also use these. I said how they maintain the connection also. How it is giving the internet connection here is it is taking the connection. These lines, what they are chosen or what they are represented as the virtual representation, means these has been taken from this one, and it is forming the network here, like that it is specified. If you go for that one, so here if you see, when a new peer joins the system, what you have to do is nothing but we have to give a peer ID. Means there is no any extra information we have to maintain here, we have to process here. What you have to do is nothing but we need to give a ID to your system. So that's all. So if you are giving ID to the system, if there is a overlay network here, this has to be updated to this one also, because what it is doing here, it is also accessing all these things from here, that is from mapping. Means what it is doing here, the representations which are the dashed one are represented as a mapping. So how it is forming a network, overlay network, how it is forming? It will try to form a network by mapping each physical machine which is required, which is the required. Not all the machines has been included here. If you see, only 4 machines has been used and 1 device only used, and the remaining 2 are left there only. So what it is doing here, it is doing to form a logical level network or the overlay network, which has been used by this virtual network by mapping is physical machine which is used for one with its ID. Means what is the means thing what you have to know here is we should know the ID of your system to map here. So here, through this virtual mapping, we can take these things to the consideration. So here, when you are trying to form a network in a physical link, means the down one, which is the IP network, then you will have a overlay network also, but it is not the means it is not created one. We have only the overlay network. Just imagine there are no any that is a nodes or devices here. So to form a overlay network, the overlay network must know the ID of this system to which it has to map with it. So here, while joining this one, what the IP network will do is it is allocating the numbers to this one. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that it will go. So these information what you are given to here is will be updated in the overlay network also. If you want to form any overlay network using the virtual network representation, what you have to do, you will go for the IDs of your system for mapping. So if you give the IDs to this overlay network, then what it has to do is nothing but it will have the information of that one. So that's why anything, any changes which has been occurred in this network has to be informed to the overlay network there itself. Because if you are adding a peer, you need to mention a peer has been added in its database. If you are deleting, if a peer leaves, what it has to do, this ID of the peer has been removed here because it has been leave. Like that, you need to update this information. If you won't update the information, if this overlay network tries to connect with that ID which has not been here, then it will may not form the virtual network here. So that's why what you have to do, we need to update the information of the joining and leaving, that is the existing peers, and then left peers has been has to be updated to this overlay network here. So that is the thing we need to consider. So based on that one, we are having 2 different types of representations. all these things has been explained in previous only. That is a overlay network. What it is a telecommunication network which is built on the top of another network and is supported by its infrastructure. That is the thing. So how it is going to access this one? It is going to access the underlying infrastructure by encapsulating one packet size into these another packet, like that it is specifying. So here how it is going to interact with the machines? It is taking its ID. Its ID is the important thing here. Whenever an actual overlay network is having its ID, it will form the virtual network by using the physical machines and mapping with that one. The mapping, what it has been used by this one, this dashed lines are specified as the virtual mapping, and these links which has been means used in this virtual network is are the virtual links. This is the physical representation. That's why we are calling it as a physical links, because it is a specified one, it is a laid one. Coming to the types or the categories, we are having the two categories, unstructured and the structured. So here unstructured means there, the name itself it is specifying there is no any fixed route to send the messages or the files among the nodes. So here the problem arises here is Seema here. So this one, in this one I am telling. So the network what you are using here means not this one. Here could be structured or unstructured between this one. Okay. So if the link what you are using it is a structured one, then no problem. What is the unstructured one here is there is no any route. If there is a route in between these things, what it is doing is it will follow any zigzag manner, or it will follow any other manner. It will go try to reach that peer. So what will be the disadvantage here? The flooding will occur, means there is a simple path and you are not using that path, you are using some that is long path you are using. What it is doing is it is can be flooded, the data what you are mentioning will be flooded there. So that's why the traffic of this one will be the heavy network traffic, and then search results what you are chosen for the means query sending or anything will be what it done is it will be in a non-deterministic manner, because it is not occurred in a means good manner there. If you are going to choose the structured overlay network, what it is doing is it is taking the connectivity topology, means it has to maintain a structure there. So if you are giving means some networks like structure, you should use represent a topology first. I am saying in overlay network, not this one. So in the overlay network, we will choose for the topology. If you are go for the mesh, star or anything, any type of the topology can be used here, or simply bus like structure also you can use here. So first we need to decide the topology, and we need to raise the rules also. So here in this one, we don't have the rules here, but in the overlay network, we are having the rules for inserting and the removing the nodes what you are using here. And also we need to develop the routing mechanisms to send the data, to have the communication between the peers what you have chosen here. So that is the difference between these physical networks and the overlay networks what you have chosen. Here there are no any rules, there is no any structure, or there is no any mechanism to send these things. But you are having, before adding all these things, what you have to do here, if you are first we need to select the what is the type of the overlay network. If you are choosing unstructured one, there is no work for this thing. If we are choosing the structured one, first we will decide what is the topology we need to follow, and then next for insertion and the removing the these peers, we need to follow the rules, and then next what you are doing is it is providing the routing mechanisms also. If you see this will that is affect this one also. Why? Because why? The question is what I said, if any node has been added, or if any node that is has been leave from this left from this thing, what the thing is, it is has to update the overlay network. So before constructing, before this thing, what it will do, it will give the rules to this physical environment also. So when a peer is, when a peer what you have chosen, if it is means that is, it is having some interest to stay in the network for a long time only, then it will be added to the virtual network. If the peer won't want to, means there is no interest to stay in this network for a long period time, what it will do, it will leave this thing. Okay, so that's why this will, some of the rules will be applied to this one, when one of the rule is joining, and that is insertion and the removing. So if the any peer want to remove early, that is after, it means if it is want to stay for the 5 years, means 5 years you want to stay, means the peer has to decide that there is a chance of staying the 5 years or not. If there is not, what it does is nothing but it will stop there itself only. Once a peer has been joined here, it has to follow the, it has to obey the rules created by overlay network. Means easily joining and easily leaving is not allowed in overlay network. Okay, understand the difference between these network, IP network and the overlay network. There are these, because if you are choosing structured one, we need to design topology and we need to design some several rules for joining. And means if you want to join this one, you need to give some rules, that is you have to follow that rules, and you have to leave that one, you have to follow that rules. And for that is to send any data or to process any data, you must have the mechanisms which has been priorly designed, which has been taken the advantage for these processing in this structured one. So this is about your overlay networks. So these are the application platforms you are using here: distributed file sharing, collaborative platform, distributed peer-to-peer computing, and peer-to-peer platforms here. These are the system features what here it is representing. What is the attraction here? So here the attraction of the distributed file sharing is the content what you have chosen here will be distributed, like music, videos, open softwares, like that it will be shared. Means what are the things it is sharing is music, video, open softwares, like that it is sharing. We are coming to the collaborative platform. What it is doing is it is providing instant messaging only, and it is providing gaming and designing purposes also. And coming to this distributed peer-to-peer network, here we can give, or we can go for the exploration of the scientific one, and also we can choose the social networking environment also here in this one. So in this social networking environment, means for example, you can add, we can create a social network, and then next you can try to add the networks there. So that is peers there. Anybody want to leave, or means there are communities will be there now, that could be one example for that one. So here peer-to-peer platform will be the networks which are being that is access to the public resources. Public resources means the public, means which has been easily available for the public. Means it can be the data of the public, or it can be the any information regarding their nation, or anything can be represented. What could be the problems they will face when they are choosing this thing? So the security, and then see here, that is online copyright violations will be there. Why it is writing copyright? Open software will be there. So if you are providing the open software, means we are that is you will take your software own version there itself, there is a copyright violations will occur. And then next designing and gaming purpose will be there. So the trust will be not there, because the spam and the privacy and then peer collision will occur while processing all these things. We are having the security holes, selfish partners, and peer collusions will be there. So security holes means you are forming a community and you are providing scientific explorations will there. So you have to form a means group of bunch of people here, means the bunch of people have different behavior. So in this different behavior, we having means which are having good thoughts will suit to your community, which are having the some bad thoughts or the some type of the odd behavior will not suit to your the system what you are, the application what you are designed. And then next here you are providing the resources to the public, means here means they should know what the means data has to be shared with the public, what the data not to be shared. and you need to maintain protection protocols to that is to access the resources here. So if they are not having the access information about these accessing the info about this thing, what they do here is they will process all these things into that one. uh, so here, example systems, what you are chosen here is Nutella, Napster, Email, BitTorrent, and then Kazaa. If you are having Groove, Maggie, SETI at the home, I already explained that one. JKXTA, Net, Fighting Guide at home. These are the several examples which has been taken or which has been processed while considering the P2P application form is. And what are the application challenges it has been chosen here is the hardware software. We have to design the two different problems here. So hardware software and the network requirements has to be specified. We need to take hardware models and then architectures many here. And then next we need to maintain the flexibility, that is compatibility between the existing softwares and the operating system what you are chosen, and the networking protocols what you are choosing, routing efficiencies, and then next bandwidth, storage spaces, computing powers, all these has to be considered here. Okay, so that is the thing we are these for that's it for this class. In the next class I will explain the last system model which has been used for the cloud computing over the internet. Thank you.